What up, everybody? Kamari Ellis here. This is Wednesday. Y'all know every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesday, so welcome to the Finance Rebel Show. Well, Diva, how are you? Every Wednesday we do these sessions. Wealthy Wednesdays, I answer your money questions, whether it's stock, taxes, insurance, money, business, entrepreneurialism, whatever you got, we talk about it. So, I know folks are going to be coming in. I got a feeling what we're going to be talking about already. I can kind of feel the vibe in the air. But, as always, come on in, say your hellos, right? Show your respect, right? You got to say hello to everybody. But, Karan, you on Facebook too. All right, my man, double casting for me. Y'all know I'm fighting these algos. So share the live, like the live, and invite a friend. Anybody who wants to learn about money, that's what the show is all about. I love to come in and share my 20 plus years, more like 25 plus years of experience through tax and financial services by answering y'all's questions every week on Wednesdays. All right, good. Well, I'm glad you're able to catch up too. So welcome. Go ahead and throw your comments in the chat. On IG, there's a little question mark bubble at the bottom of the screen. So go ahead and let's get into it. What questions do y'all have? Is everybody all right? Did all my Bitcoin fans or stands commit suicide? Everybody jump out the window? Everybody good? I hope so. And we not, I keep telling y'all, tomorrow's not promised, right? So let's not put any faith into any man-made things, right? Everybody's been talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's falling off a cliff. Well, I'm not surprised. It's very volatile. That's why I don't call Bitcoin a currency. And I know all my Bitcoin fans hate that. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they call me the Bitcoin hater, but I'm not hating. I'm just talking about what it is. I love the Chris Rock joke when he says the tiger didn't go crazy, the tiger went tiger. Bitcoin didn't go crazy, Bitcoin went Bitcoin. It does what it does. It is what it is. So, hey, Janelle, how you doing? I got to reach out to you. Tax season's over now, so I'll be getting things back up to speed. All right, Facebook user is here. Yes, the sky seems to be falling for some folks. Yeah, I mean, again, anytime you see something run up really, really fast for no reason whatsoever, there's no real value proposition that has changed or increased. Yeah, you might see a run up. People might make money, but guess what? It's not going to last. It's not going to last. All right, and salutes to those who made money, right? Salutes to those who took profit. I'm trying to find a clip. I know I put a clip out on Instagram. I'm not sure if I said it to Facebook or not. But I said for everybody who made money in Bitcoin and GameStop, because GameStop was running at the time, make sure you take profits. Now, that don't mean you got to sell out of the whole thing, but you want to take some profits, right? When you're talking about investments, when you're talking about stocks, when we're talking about any asset, any, amount of money, you got to figure out ways to take profit. Nobody, my mentor taught me this, right? Many, many years ago. He said, nobody ever went broke taking profits. People, however, did go broke by staying too long at a party that they weren't welcome to. But, again, everybody thinks things are going to last forever. And I know y'all love to clown me and call me a hater. But I'm just stating the obvious, y'all. And does that mean Bitcoin will never run again? No, that doesn't mean that. But for right now, I don't know what Elon Musk and the rest of the institutional people that are in these coins are doing. But we know there's a lot of institutional money in Bitcoin. We see that. That's not a secret. I believe there's a lot of institutional money backing Dogecoin as well. Right? And we saw with the whole Reddit crew, with their whole GameStop run, that there was institutional money backing a lot of those trades too, which made that even more ironic because they are the quote unquote freedom fighters, They want to back things that have absolutely no value, no real purpose, but they want to rally for it. They want to rally against the hedge funds, but all the while the hedge funds are making money, been making money off that stock, GameStop, that is. So, all right, let me say my hellos. All right, Karan, appreciate you being here. Jose, what up, Jose? All right, my Facebook user says, what's good, sir? Yes, the sky seems to be falling. Jody says, what's up, African? What's up, you African? How are you? All right, brother, I'm long-term on F. Their future is bright. All right, Jose. So it's like 3 of us that I know of that are long-term on F. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Got a couple people that are jumping in on IG as well. Make sure y'all share a friend. Y'all know I'm here every week talking about this money. But I talk about money, I believe, in no way that anybody else is talking about it. I talk about it from a realistic view. I think a lot of people out here are talking about it from a greedy view. I talk about it from a community standpoint. Shout outs to my brothers over at By the Hood too. And shout out to the Black Wealth Project. They all do the same thing. They definitely talk about money and wealth from a community-minded standpoint. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Just Lovely. Jenny, how are you? Janelle's here. Yep, it is gambling. You are right. Tanqueray Townsend. It's very volatile. Yep, no way to evaluate. Jump for more success. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you not going to participate? Okay. Brownsborn 7. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so what questions do y'all have? What questions do y'all have? All right, we got one. Did I read Michael Berry's shares and stance with Tesla? I saw it. I didn't read it, but I saw it. Michael Berry is a G, right? If anybody knows the name Michael Berry was the guy who called the crash in 2007. Not 2008, but 2007. They did a whole movie about him. Can't think about the name of the movie off the top of my head. But he was the guy that figured out how to short many of the CMOs and CDOs when we had the real estate crisis. So, he does a lot of fundamental homework. I don't know if he's right or not. I wouldn't bet against Tesla right now, but I definitely would not invest in Tesla. This is not investment recommendations either, folks. Everything I talk about here is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right. Right. The Big Short. Good book. I think I listened to that on Audible. Good book. Cool movie. Movie was kind of but it was interesting. When you look up Michael Berry, right? This guy is actually a doctor. He's a doctor who stopped being a doctor. He stopped MDing and he started to become an investor and started his own hedge fund. So, he got hot during the days of the blogs. He started blogging and putting out his investments and just sharing them. And he got picked up by some people and they put some money with him. So for all accounts, he's a very, very smart guy. I think he knows that Tesla cannot be unprofitable forever without them having a short or having a decline in the stock value. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see either way. All of y'all know my feelings about Tesla. All of y'all, even with Bitcoin and Dogecoin, a lot of this of what's going on. I won't call it manipulation, but let's call it chicanery, right? And skullduggery, right? It's Mr. P.T. Barnum, who has no name, likes to mess with stuff. And you can't tell me he's not conscious of his impact on the market. I mean, he's got hit by the SEC several times. So he knows his impact in the market. But he does not care about those rules. But, but we shall see. We shall see. So listen, anybody that's watching, go ahead and throw your comments, your questions in the chat. If you're on Instagram, go ahead and throw your question in the little bubble right there. and we're going to get into it. I'm not going to talk too long because I'm tired, y'all. Tax season wore me out. Tax season still wearing me out. Got client issues, which is interesting. One day I'm gonna start talking about some of my interesting journeys in building my business. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating. AJ Nice World, how are you? Welcome. Mi'kmar Glee or G? That's a new name. I hope I'm saying it right. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Charge it to my head, not my heart. All right, so Tanqueray Towns official asks, what are some money books you recommend? Let's see if I got any here. I'm still reading this. I don't know if you can see it. The colors are off. The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy Brown. Let's see what else. I'll be honest. I was a finance major, and I was raised in an accounting and tax office with my dad. So I do read some books. I'm usually more interested in biographies than the hardcore books of things, just because I've read so many textbooks. I'll still get some from time to time. There's one book by Morgan Housel I thought was really, really good. Let me find the name of that. I thought Morgan Housel's book was one of the better books that I've read in quite some time. And I'm spelling his name wrong. His name is Morgan Housel. I'm spelling his name wrong. Let's see if I can find it. Psychology of Money. There it is. Psychology of Money. This is one I was very, very impressed with. What's up, Trey? Welcome. I think everybody should read this book. Y'all know I'm all about my Black authors. This is not a Black author, though, but I do feel the book was very, very good. I feel it was very, very good. Let me see if I can share the screen with you all real quick. The Psychology of Money. If you can, go buy it at a Black bookstore, though. I know I'm showing the Amazon link, but, see if you can order from a Black bookstore. But Powernomics, always good. Our Black Year, stellar, right? Very, very good about Maggie Anderson. I've interviewed Maggie several times, talking about her journey of investing buying Black for 1 year. Great book. Listen, I'll be honest with y'all. I talk about money. I talk about the culture first. The culture, if you don't have good culture, or if you don't have a sense of culture, I think that's a better way to put it. If you don't have a sense of culture, especially for us Black folks, you wind up doing a whole bunch of goofy stuff. Because let's be honest, I come from the crack era. And that era was the era of do anything to get money. It wasn't integrity over money or characteristics, not characteristics, character over money, integrity over money, morals over money, people over profits. A lot of that got lost, and a lot of that's been lost in the American business landscape altogether. However, I have no problem with being a Black capitalist, because capitalism isn't about people. It's a system and it's a theory. I believe one of the things that we have gotten wrong as a community is that we put down capitalism, even though capitalism really is an African idea. Nobody wants to talk about that, though. I talk about it. But again, if we're not looking at money from the lens of culture first, we are forever doomed. And I'll just put that out there. When you look at other ethnic groups, I don't care if it's Jews or Asians, and I know I'm painting with broad strokes here, right? I don't have all night. They look at money through culture first, not through just getting $1 just for the sake of $1. And I think that's important. I think, we got a lot of people running around in Lambos and blue Lambos and doing all kind of PPP schemes and just doing dumb shit, doing dumb stuff. We're not thinking about it long range. We're not thinking about how it's going to affect our family, right? Which is the first bastion or pillar of culture. We're not thinking about that. We're just trying to get it how we live it. And listen, I get the history of how many black folks were not able to get jobs and how the only thing we could get was criminal activities, likely a lot of numbers running. That ain't the case no more. That's not the case. We are in a new day and we are in a new era. So we have to adjust. We can't stay stagnant. That's why when many times many of our elders, our great elders and our great ancestors, they say, oh, capitalism was bad. They said that because the only thing they saw, the only example they saw was American imperialism. Imperialism is different than capitalism. I'm 2 classes short. I'm 6 credits. I'm 6 credits short of my economics degree. I'm actually mad because I left a semester early from Temple. But I love economics. I study economics. And so if we don't figure out some of these things, we're going to be forever lost. And speaking of PPP, JT, man. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to JT. JT's got a great channel. All right. So I'm not dogging you, JT. Just hear me out. So I want to talk about this. JT talks about all the scammers I won't talk about. I'll say that. Right. And I won't talk about them. And again, this is no knock to JT because he actually is doing a great service. But I personally never want to be the guy to put down black folks, even though many of them do deserve it. And everybody he's put on deserves it. But just for me, it's just like, I don't want to do it. And I see JT and I get jealous of JT because I'm like, I want to say the same damn thing. And I've said as much to him, but he does a great job. He does a phenomenal job of airing out a lot of the scams or a lot of the scam likelies or a lot of the light scammers who are about to be full-blown scammers. So go check out JT's channel, y'all. Appreciate that again. But again, back to the point, it's not just enough to get $1. If we're about getting $1 by knocking somebody's head over or stealing grandma and auntie's pocketbook, we just lost that $1 and we lost human life. Somewhere, somehow was fractured and frazzled. And that's hustling backwards, folks. That's hustling backwards. So, hey, Tara, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Don Johnson's in the building. What's up, brother? Appreciate you. So, I think it's really important. I'm going to keep harping on that point because I don't really see enough people talking about that, in my opinion. Now, for the record, I've been like this all my life. Some of my friends call me a stiff neck. I get it. But listen, here's the thing. You're never going to reverse a situation by going into it and participating in the same thought exercises that got you there. Basically, if you go into the situation with the same thinking that got you there, you're never going to change it. So at some point, we got to do something different. I think everybody on this live understands the Black condition here in America and around the world. So at some point, we got to do something different. All right. I don't think he does it in a positive way that should offend them. Definitely a good channel to watch. So Don, do you mean you don't think he does it in a negative way that should? Wait a minute, let me read that. I don't think he does it in a positive way that shouldn't offend them. I don't think you meant it that way, Don, or maybe I'm reading it wrong. Yeah, JT's channel is definitely a good channel, though. Now, one of my weaknesses when reading these chats, I just read the chats. And I am so guilty of this. My autocorrect jacks me up all the time. I'm sure your autocorrect jacks you up all the time. I go back and look at some of my spellings and I'm going to say, people are really going to think I have a kindergarten in the education and no more. Right. Okay. Right. That's what I was thinking. Right. So it's not in a negative way. He's not putting them down. In my opinion, I don't think he's putting them down. He's just talking about the facts. I will say this though, right? This is one reason why I do think JT's channel is invaluable. In order for us to combat scammers, we have to increase our financial IQs, right? So that's the whole mission of my channel. And by increasing our financial IQs, we can see the shenanigans a mile away if you're really paying attention. Now, again, some of us think we are literate. By the way, I don't think it's enough to be financially literate. Some of us think we're financially literate, and we really aren't. We really are just, we're really just kind of playing along to get along, and we're looking for a lottery ticket. To be honest with you, we're not really doing the studying. We got to get to the studying, y'all. We got to get to the research. We got to get to the testing phase, right? When you go back to the scientific method, they're always talking about testing. It's one thing to read about a thing. You also have to test the thing. And I'm not telling you all to go out and spend all your money, but you can take $5, $10 every age of technology. Things that are way beyond your means, you should leave alone. You should never touch. And, again, I've been harping on that, and I want to keep harping on it because, again, I see everybody getting sexy, getting fly. Everybody wants to be fresh, fly, and bold. I get it. They want to talk about the crypto. They want to talk about the stocks. They want to talk about, getting the Lambos and all that by any means necessary. By the way, today is Malcolm X's birthday. El Hajj Malik Shabazz. All praises to him on his journey. He's done a great work. But again, back to the main point, we're not talking about the foundations. We're not talking about the fundamentals. The fundamentals matter. I was talking to a buddy of mine today, / client, and I know he played basketball for his high school. I played basketball for a little bit with my high school, then I got kicked off. But what I said to him was something my coach said. He said, everybody's trying to dunk, but nobody wants to do a layup. Nobody can dribble. If we get the fundamentals right, you can win. Whether you got a pulled hamstring or you're hurt, you can still dribble the ball and pass. But if you can dribble, pass, and shoot, not necessarily dunk, not necessarily do the fancy, sexy thing, we're going to win the games. But everybody wanted to dunk, tap board, do the 360 and all the sexy stuff. But a lot of us don't want to do the work. I hope y'all got that analogy. Right? Michael Jordan isn't, and Kobe and LeBron aren't the greatest, arguably. And well, because I'm not trying to have that argument, they're not the greatest because they can do all the fancy stuff. They're the greatest because they worked really hard at the fundamentals, which allowed them to do all the fancy stuff. A lot of times we like to put the cart before the horse. All right. But we need the horse to pull the cart. All right. So who has questions, y'all? I know y'all want to talk about Bitcoin. Fell off a cliff. It's getting mollywopped. So we got that out of the way. Anybody see that new potential merger with AT&T and who was it? AT&T, and I want to say it was MGM. I want to say AT&T. Yep, AT&T and MGM. $9 billion merger. $9 billion merger. All right, Tanqueray Towns official says, how do I feel about health and wealth? Well, you can't really have true wealth without health, right? What's the point of getting all this money and you're not here to enjoy it? Nor are you here to pass along the gems and jewels, the tips and the tricks, the strategies along to the next generation. So I think you need both. By the way, I've seen some studies that talk about the connection of the more healthy you are, right? Usually the clearer vision, the clearer thought, the better thoughts you're able to generate. I know, what's his name? What's Branson's name? what's Virgin America's what's his name? Something Branson, some rich white dude, right? But he swims for 4 hours a day. I don't know if he does it every day, but he does it a lot. And he says he swims 4 hours a day so he can get clarity of thought. And then once he gets clarity of thought, he can then begin to execute. Tangray, I totally agree. I believe they go hand in hand. So, but going back to, I'm sorry, it's not AT&T. It was Amazon. Amazon is, I don't know why. This seems kind of weird. AT&T does have another merger on deck, but I can't think of who that is too. But there's been a lot of news coming out. But Amazon is talking about a $9 billion merger with MGM. So Amazon has stepped its toe into books. We know that's what they're most known for. Amazon is actually a great case study of focus, data, and doing boring stuff. Now, with all the boring stuff, they do add a lot of sexy. They do a whole lot of AI, artificial intelligence. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, right? But they're in the supermarkets now because they brought Whole Foods. They're talking about buying MGM. That's clearly a content play. And I believe MGM is still under, okay, you're right. MGM is still also in gaming as well. So that will be a very interesting combination. I don't know if it'll work out, but it would be very, very interesting. I'll tell you what, if Amazon is able to get MGM, because again, you know that's more about content than anything else, that's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And the AT&T merger was Discovery. AT&T is thinking about merging with Discovery, their media units. So there's a lot going on. Right. So the AT&T media unit, Time Warner, because AT&T brought Time Warner, is thinking about selling that to Discovery. Thank you, Karan. Thank you. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, yep. Yes, exactly. There's a sure correlation to being healthy and the amount of success you're going to have. Yep. I agree. All right. So who has questions? Anybody have questions? Or do y'all just want to hear me talk all night? It seems like y'all just want me to talk all night. And I'm cool with that too. So maybe what I'll do is I'll start coming. And maybe Wealthy Wednesdays turns into Wealthy Conversations like on Saturdays. But I do like answering the questions though. I mean, this is how I got started on radio, answering people's money questions. But maybe we'll do it like more like Saturdays with our Wealthy Conversation, where either I bring a guest on, a co-host, and talk about their business, something that they're doing, or I present something that I think is important for everybody to understand and know. So I'm not sure. Vando SCK, how are you? My pleasure. I get a lot of joy out of this as well, Tangeray. So the pleasure is mine as well. I can't lie and say, like, I'm just doing this to give y'all free game like so many others do. But, you know, maybe I'll do that. Y'all tell me what y'all would like to see. Put it in the chat. Would y'all like me to just answer y'all's questions? Would y'all like for me to prepare something and bring on these Wealthy Wednesdays? What would y'all like? Would y'all like more guests? So go ahead and put that in the chat. And if you are not in the community, the text community, you can text it to me as well. 215-974-0058. 215-974-0058. All right, it's important that y'all join the text community because y'all see the shenanigans that these companies, the Facebooks, the Zuckerbergs, the Googles. I don't want to build all these relationships with y'all and then they just disappear overnight because somebody is mad at me because I said something they didn't like, something that was taken out of context, something that was spun in totally out of pocket. All right. So while y'all putting things in the chat, I'm going to pull up. Let's see. Let's look at something real quick. Give me 1 second. Y'all being bashful tonight. Y'all are being bashful. So, all right, let's look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Let's see. Because Bitcoin is on everybody's tongues. Everybody's talking about it. Just look at, again, these are candlesticks. Green bars represents positive days. Positive days represents days that there are typically more buyers than sellers in the market. That's what drives the stock market, y'all. The buyers and the sellers. Supply and demand. The red bars are the days that, and again, these are all days, right? All of these bars represents a day's worth of data, a day's worth of pricing. The red bars are the days that the prices were down for that day. All right. And so here we have again, Bitcoin going, this is daily chart going back to March 21st. Now it's important that, I don't talk a whole lot about technicals because I think it's more of an advanced topic, but technicals to me are important. I combine technicals and fundamentals all the time. That gives you, in my opinion, the best picture ever of a stock and a potential performance. All right. So when you look at this, many of the technicians say the whole story is in the data. It's in the pricing. And so we go back to April 17th, right? We can see the price of Bitcoin was at 61,000. It closed at 55,000, right? But let's go back a couple of days before that. Because on April 14th, right, again, Bitcoin closed that day at $63,999, almost $64,000. All right. What's up, Ad the Fly Realtor? How you doing? Congratulations. I saw your anniversary. That's dope, man. Congratulations. So April 14th, almost 64,000. Next day we have a closing day, right? It closed at 63,000. So it went from 6,399 down to 63,000. Now, if we fast forward, we can go and just look. We pick random dates. April 25th, Bitcoin closed at 47,000. All right, now we keep coming, kind of starts to base out. People are like, well, maybe it's not going to fall anymore. We come to May 13th. Bitcoin closes at 49,000. So if y'all following along, we went from 64,000 to 49,000 in less than what? How many days? How many days was anybody paying attention? So from the 15th to April 15th to May 13th, almost a month, we lost almost, what is that, $25,000 in value in a month? And y'all call this a currency? Can you imagine if the dollar fluctuated by that percentage rate over that time? So bear with me 1 second. It's 40%. So it's lost roughly 40% in a month's time period. So the dollar loss, because I know everybody loves Bitcoin because they think it's a great way to hide money from the government. Guess what? Government already know about your Bitcoin. Government's everywhere. Big brother's watching. Nothing you can do about it. But can you imagine that? Can you imagine the dollar dropping by 40% in a month? A little less than a month? It's bananas. All right, so May 13th, we are at, again, 49,000. Today, May 19th, a couple of days after tax season, I hope everybody filed. Bitcoin touched 30,000. It bounced. It seems like people capitulated a little bit. but it touched 30,000. It was just $64,000 in March. It's only back, so about 2 months ago. That's major, y'all. I mean, so again, I know y'all love to label me as a Bitcoin hater. I'm not a Bitcoin hater. But what I am saying is that, again, if you're going to build your financial house, the house of wealth, it's got to be built on a firm foundation. Bitcoin ain't it. For many of y'all that are my audience. Now, if y'all got money like that, y'all got plenty saved, and ignore me. But if you are struggling to make ends meet, like many people are, especially many people in the Black community, let's stick to the basics, right? We talked about when I played basketball. My coach told me dribbling, shooting, and passing is more important than slam dunking, than doing a slam dunk. You don't got to get fancy. You don't got to get caught up in the hype. You don't got to get caught up in the hysteria. You don't have to get herded like sheep oftentimes. And the reason I say that, and again, people get mad at me because I say stuff like that, I'm just telling the truth. A lot of y'all don't understand what Bitcoin even is, what any crypto is. Same thing for Dogecoin. Same thing. So again, I would just say, do the homework, y'all. Get the basics down. And then once you do all that, you can be fly, fresh and bold, all you want. All you want, but do the fundamentals. Do the basics. All right. Timberland, how are you? FH202, how are you? What's up, Keith? How you doing, brother? All right, so Jose says, we should all read The Color of Law. Jose, you know I talk about that book often. I agree. What was all I can say? Don put me on, and it provides so much clarity about how the system is efficiently designed from local to the federal level to keep us down. That's a fact, right? And so that when I say we have to color our wealth and money pursuits with culture first, right? You need to read books like The Color of Law because then you understand what's going on. So when I always tell y'all my wealth pursuits are not for fancy things, it's not for a super duper crazy car, gold chains, big rims, or taking pictures of any of those things, right? It's for when my kids want good schooling, when the children in my community want good schooling. I try to help out as much as possible, right? That's the real game there. That's the play, as everybody likes to say. Everybody is so focused on being an individual. And listen, being an individual is very important. But what difference does it make being a great individual when all your people are suffering? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. All right, so keep that in mind, y'all. The Forbes, how are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sharonda, I hope I'm saying your name right. You mentioned how we need to truly educate ourselves. What are your top books for beginners for financial literacy? Y'all ask me that all the time. I heard the Psychology of Money, which funny enough I have in my Kindle, but haven't read it yet. Please read it. What others do you suggest for true beginners? What about the absolute beginnings of learning about digital currency? Listen, digital currency is cool. Digital currency is cool, but let's learn about the real currency that the digital currency is transformed into. There's nothing wrong with digital, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but guess what? You still have to buy food. You still have to buy clothing and shelter, oftentimes water, gasoline. There's not a lot of places where you can buy all of those things that I just listed with digital. Not yet. Hey, Miss Edith, how are you doing? I haven't even looked at my account. I should have taken my money out like I thought last week. Now, and Sharon, I'm going to come back to you, but I got to say this. Who was telling y'all about taking profits? Y'all going to start giving me props. Y'all going to put some respect on my name. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Can I get a little respect? I was talking about taking profits. None of these other quote unquote social media guru phonies was talking about taking profits. I'm just saying. If y'all going to do it. Don't play at it. Really do it. All right. So Sharonda, Again, digital currency is good, but I'll be honest, I don't think that's a starting place. Actually, let me see. Do I have this book here? So I think this book is a must read for anybody who's really interested about making money and understanding the system. It's called How Money Works. I believe Miss Edith got the book, has been reading it with her grandson, and has gotten a lot of value out of it. It's got very simple definitions. It's got graphics to go along with it, but no, it's not a comic book, right? It's telling you about real money, about how money really works. So here's some of the chapters. Emergence of modern economics. Now, for the record, I am a nerd. And yes, I love economics. I love Black history. I love all things that can help level the playing field for our people. But it talks about the artifacts of money. So you'll go back and you'll see like money is a unit of account, but money has been used in many different forms, from sands to bones to all kinds of stuff, right? So that's just one thing. Economic theory. We all need to understand economic theory, because if I hear another Black person say capitalism is bad again, I swear to God, I'm going to pull out my eyebrow hairs. It's very frustrating. All right, we talk about the evolution of money, corporate accounting, financial instruments, financial markets, financial institutions, right? These are some of the chapters and sections in this book. All right, we talk about the money supply. So a lot of people talk about inflation. A lot of people are talking about inflation right now because of the quote unquote money supply. The money supply has been increased. However, that's kind of an outdated theory. And it's really based on closed economic systems. Listen, there is an issue with inflation. Don't get me wrong. If you've seen lumber prices, they're literally through the roof. If you've seen home prices in Canada, they're literally through the roof. But I believe this is all transitory, as the Fed would say, which all means it's just short term. It's just a blip. All right. Why governments fail financially, personal finance, right? So this gives you the whole financial spectrum. Even in this book, they talk about money in the digital age. They talk about cryptocurrency. They talk about debt. They talk about pensions, right? So this isn't just theory. You know, theory's cool, but the deal is, how do you apply the theory? And oftentimes theory and application do not meet. Oftentimes theory and application just miss each other. Right? It's a theory that Black folks should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. But as Jose just talked about in the book of the Color of Law, they show you how U.S. governmental policies have literally prohibited that. They literally created ghettos. Well, actually, ghetto is an Italian word. They literally created these impoverished and oppressed neighborhoods intentionally. They literally dropped off cocaine and guns in these areas. They literally have over-policed these areas. They literally have falsely incarcerated a lot of people. So again, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep saying it. If y'all don't want to hear that, I'm not the show for y'all. But what I'm going to say is that if your culture is off, your money's always going to be off, right? If you don't look at money through the lens of culture, you are forever lost, all right? And you'll forever be playing somebody else's game. It's amazing to me that only 2% of Black business. It's amazing to me that only 2% of Black businesses get money from Black people. So basically, Black folks only spend 2% of their money with Black-owned businesses. I think that's a doggone shame. I think that's disgraceful. And y'all can save all the, I can't find a good Black business. You ain't looked hard enough. Y'all can save all the nonsense about there are no good Black businesses, or every time I use a Black businesses, they take advantage of me. Well, can we apply some of that same logic and thinking to other communities that have taken advantage of us? Again, I'm painting with a broad brush, but I think y'all get it. I can't tell you how many Korean stores or old Jewish bars that were then owned by Koreans have mistreated black folks? How many Koreans in these nail salons are mistreating our brothers and sisters, but we still give them our money, right? So our understanding of money is from a white Eurocentric standpoint. It's not from a black or an Africanized or an African-centered standpoint, because if it was, we wouldn't patronize these folks as much. We wouldn't allow these many people to come into our communities and just take our dollars and cents. Every time we spend money outside our community, we're giving people a bullet to shoot back at us. We're giving them our power. So that's part of the reason why I talk about black business so much. I've been talking about black business before it was cool. It's cool now. I've been talking about it before that. But guess what? I'm a product of black-owned business. I would not be here today if it wasn't for black-owned business. My daddy was a black-owned business. Many other financial institutions I got to work with, got a chance to hone my skills, get mentorship from, were black-owned institutions, or at least black-led institutions to some way, shape, or form. So how can I not talk about it, right? That is me. I am that. I was birthed from that. That's all I know. And I think it's goofy when we do other stuff. Like I don't get why. And again, this is no knock, right? We all got some kind of non-black company in our cupboards and in our closets. But at this point, it's 2021. At what point are we going to say we have to do better? History is very important to me, right? I love the stories of Maynard Jackson. I love the stories of what's DC's mayors, Marion Barry. Now, if y'all have not read their stories or know about them, you're missing out. Oftentimes, we talk about politicians and what they can do and what they can't do. Those two cities show you what can be done if you're really black enough to do it. So if you're black enough to do some of these things and to do that, right, that's not disparaging anybody. Well, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I'll say this. I think there's a spectrum of how proud people are vocally, internally, externally of their blackness. I think many times those who are willing to put it on the line have a higher degree of blackness. And I'm not challenging anybody's blackness, right? But I do think there's a varying of people that have a higher level of pride for blackness. As that pride increases, this is my belief, I believe our money will increase because we'll stop giving it to everybody else. So, all right, it's almost 9, y'all. What questions y'all got? Basically, y'all just got me ranting all night. What's up, Kelly? How are you? Benny Blanco, how are you? Money Mitch, how are you? Welcome. Rebel Scum 215, what's up? All right. Oh, thank you, Ms. Edith. I learned a lot from Kamari during this pandemic. All right, I'm glad I was able to serve. Now, just take what we've been talking about, put it to application, and share it. Each one reach one, each one teach one. JT Coins, my man. I made it support my favorite finance show on YouTube. All right, JT. I've been seeing some of them works of art you got, brother. I'm liking some of them rings, and I'm not a jewelry person, but I need to check out some of that stuff. We need to talk. All right, so JT Coins makes all kinds of coin. I know he's a coin investor, precious metals. Check that out. He also designs jewelry, y'all. You know what? Again, I'm not trying to be on my soapbox, but y'all should look into the diamond trade. Please do. Please look and see how your black brothers and sisters are being exploited across the globe. It's a crazy thing. All right, but JT Coin says The Color of Law is an excellent book, and Color of Money is good as well. Jose, yeah. All right, so, and oh, by the way, JT, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. All right. So Ms. Edith says, I learned police brutality occurs in neighborhoods where the credit score are 600 or below. Um, I think that's more a thing of, oh man, I'm trying to think of it. Correlation versus causation. I think I know they're related, right? Because typically police brutality happens in communities that are poor or poorer. They tend to happen in communities that are black and are full of people of color. But I don't think it's just credit score alone. I don't think credit score is driving that. I think credit score is just a symptom of everything else. Yes, Black Mama T, that's Miss Vanessa Braxton. I've interviewed Vanessa. Not sure what that is. I think it's like episode number 34. Listen, if y'all have not listened to the Finance Rebel show, y'all are not my friends. If y'all have not left me a rating or review on the iTunes or the Apple podcast platform, we ain't friends, y'all. Listen, help me get the word out. Help me find the algorithms. Go check out the Finance Rebel show. All you got to do is Google it. It comes right up. And you could give it a listen. Please give it a listen. And give it a real rating and a real review. But yes, Black Mama vodka is popping. You got a black woman who's making vodka, y'all. You got a black woman who's making coffee. You got a black woman who's making tea. Black Mama vodka with Miss Vanessa Braxton. Birdman Trucking, how you doing? All right, so Jose says Black Titan is another recommendation from Don. I just completed, and his story is so amazing. So inspiring. If we're truly about that community work, yep. Now, Black Titan, A.G. Gastons. A.G. Gastons is a Black Titan man from Alabama. Jim Crow era, becomes a millionaire. How special is that? Also, A.G. Gastons bailed out Martin Luther King. Was not always a fan of civil rights. Was not always a fan of Martin Luther King. However, he had an epiphany. He said, I can't sit by and let my people get abused like this without me helping out. So he bailed out King. That book had a profound effect on me. Profound. I would recommend everybody read Black Titan. All right, so Ms. Edith says, is this your friend JT that refutes the partial stories and lies on YouTube? I love him. No. So that's the other JT. Other JT, you know what? So yeah, I got a whole crew of JTs. How about that? So Pocket Watching JT gave me a super chat today as well. I can't think of JT's. I think it's Jason Thornton is his name. Jason Thornton is his name. I just call him JT because that's what I see in the. That's what I see. Listen, y'all. All of these social media names, I'm forgetting y'all real name, and I'm only can see your social media name after a while. I know that's sad. All right, so all right, yep. All right, got that. All right, any other questions? Because y'all know I got to get my vittles. I'm hungry. I'm still recuperating from tax season. If y'all have not filed your taxes, make sure you file your taxes. If you have not filed your taxes, if you did not file an extension, make sure you file your taxes. Right? If you did not file an extension, make sure you file your taxes as soon as possible, especially if you owe. A couple reasons you want to file. Reason number one, if you are owed a refund, that refund is not there forever. The IRS gives you 3 years to claim your refund. There's several billions of dollars left in 2017 of refund money that tax-paying citizens are not going to get because they're not going to file their taxes this year. They have until this year to claim, and many of them are not going to get it. All right. So please file your taxes. Don't let the government keep your money. Second reason you want to file your taxes, if you owe, the IRS's penalties, interest, fines are like loan sharks. They're not nothing to mess with. Sometimes as high as 25%. So please file your taxes. All right. All right. Yeah, no, Miss Edie, you're right. You're right. That was just the first thought. And I know you knew that. I know you knew that. So, all right, folks, what other questions do you have as we wrap up? Last call. Last call. So listen, y'all, Bitcoin is falling. I know somebody's going to say, well, now might be a good time to buy. Maybe. But before you buy Bitcoin, before you buy digital, one, educate yourself on it. Two, take a look at your overall financial fundamentals. All right. What's your financial fundamentals? Let's start with cash. How much savings do you have? All right. Let's go to income. Have you maximized your income? Are you maximizing your income? The best way to maximize your income is by development of skills and talents. Point blank. The more you invest in yourself, the more money you can make. The more money you can make, the more money you can take and then invest in assets. If you have a job, if you're past all that, great. Doesn't matter. Are the financial fundamental? Do you have life insurance? If you have children, you absolutely should have life insurance. Why do you need life insurance? Because life insurance primarily is there to replace income. If you're not able to, for whatever reason, make it home to your children, your loved ones, and they rely on your income, look at life insurance, especially if they're young. One of the greatest ways to pass on wealth is life insurance. It's a great way. It's not the only way. I do feel some of the folks that are talking about life insurance are trying to sell the life insurance. I'm not licensed in life insurance, Joe. I was many years ago, but now I'm not. All right, so life insurance. Think about that. Think about your retirement. Think about your taxes, right? One of your biggest bills over your lifetime will be your tax bill, whether it be federal income tax, local income tax. I'm in Philadelphia. We have almost a 4% city wage tax. State and PA is 3.07%. If you are in other states like California and New York, God bless you. It's a lot higher. But you should be tax planning. I want to be talking about tax planning. Tax season is over, but now's the time we should be thinking about tax planning. You cannot tax plan effectively after December 31st, y'all. It's too late. You should be doing it now. Talk to your tax pro now. Give him a couple days, him or her, a couple days rest though. A lot of them are worn out. A lot of them need a vacation. A lot of y'all should have gave them a tip too. All right. And education. Just, start reading. Get a book. Get that. What did I have? How Money Works. How Money Works is the official. All right. That'll be the official money book of the Finance Rebel Show. All right. Last question. Knitter 101. How are you? So, JC, do you believe in whole life insurance? Borrowing from it. Do they offer a better return? So I believe in life insurance, no matter the type, because primarily, again, it's for income replacement. Right? There's four basic types of life insurance. One doesn't accumulate any value, any cash value in that term. That's also the cheapest one. That's like the Pinto of life insurance, but it can get you from point A to point B. That's what it's there for. If you don't have a whole lot of money in your pocketbook and your wallet, you might want to think about term. Again, none of these are recommendations. This is just education and entertainment, y'all. This is more education than entertainment, though. All right. At the other end of the spectrum, you have whole life insurance, which JT is asking about. Whole life gets a cash value. Whole life also has the highest premium. The highest life insurance premium. The cost of it is the highest. However, life insurance, again, accumulates a cash. The whole life insurance accumulates a cash value. So you can put money in there. A portion of your premium goes to the cost of insurance. The other portion of it goes to cash. That cash grows tax-free. That cash can be used at later times. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it in terms of buying businesses, buying cars, using it as their bank, right? I don't have a problem with any of that. What I do have a problem with is the people that they are selling it to. A lot of times it's not a great fit for many of the people they sell it to. There are no bad financial tools. There's only bad financial strategy. Again, there are no bad financial tools. There's only bad financial strategy. Problem is, you got a bunch of salespeople out there being strategists, or impersonating being strategists. They're not strategists. They're salespeople. And that doesn't mean that a strategist and a salesperson can't be one and the same, but they usually are not. They usually are not. All right. The cash value in whole life is based upon, one, how much you're putting into it, just like anything else, and also the dividend rate or the interest rate that the insurance company is able to put into those policies. All right. Then you have virtual universal life. Virtual universal life is very much like a whole life. However, the difference is where the cash value goes is into the market, into the stock market. So you have to be careful with it. You got to be careful with all life insurance. You need to understand your policies through and through. And then the last type is what they call universal term. Again, it accumulates cash value, is based on interest rates. Universal life got really, really popular in the 80s when we had super duper high inflation. And they were out there slinging those insurance policies like crazy. And guess what happened after Paul Volcker got in to become the Fed chair? When Paul Volcker increased the Fed rate and made inflation drop and then dropped interest rates, a lot of those policies blew up. Now, I might be being a little bit too technical on some of these things. Forgive me. Look them up, research them before you think about buying them. But yeah, they can be used. They're not for everybody. I'm talking about the cash value life insurance. They're not for everybody. However, I do think life insurance is for everybody. I'm a big proponent of life insurance. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Y'all know my show is geared towards the Black community. Black community is one of the most impoverished communities in the world. Can you imagine if everybody in the Black community had a life insurance policy on one of the elders? That money is then going to come back because we all got our date. Nobody knows the time of the hour, but we all got a date. We're all going to be out of here at some point. We're all traveling this journey back to the Creator, back to the universe. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what color you are, creed, sexuality. We all got that in common. We are traveling that path. It's going to happen. And so one of the ways to break the cycle of poverty is by using not only good financial education. I hate financial literacy, by the way, but having good financial education, but using life insurance in combination with wills. I know everybody's excited about trust. I think many of you are misguided about trust, but I know a lot of y'all are excited about trust. But using all these tools to create the strategy for you. All I ask is that y'all just truly understand it. All I ask is that you just really understand the ramifications, the tax ramifications, the cash ramifications, what you really need to do these things. Because a lot of times, just using life insurance, right? I've seen people sell life insurance to somebody who really could not afford it and say, yeah, you can leave your children and your grandchildren an inheritance, because that's what a good man does. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. But this good man doesn't make a whole lot of money. And so you sell him this cash value policy that he can't afford to keep up. And what happens again with cash value policies, if you stop paying them and the cash runs out, they blow up. And oftentimes there's other riders and things like that. A lot of times people don't give you the right riders also. But a lot of times people don't know it. They don't understand it. So what I'm saying is don't just rely on me or any of these other folks. Go do your studying. Go do your homework. All right. Do your studying and do your homework. But life insurance can be a very, very, very powerful tool in dismantling poverty in our community. It can be a very, very powerful tool in helping us dismantle the wealth gap in this country. But guess what? And I'm going to do a show about this. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it Saturday at noon. Right? Shirt sleeves, the shirt sleeves, and 3 generations. That's a whole term. So yeah, we'll talk about that on Saturday at noon. Shirt sleeves, the shirt sleeves, and 3 generations. And what does that mean? It usually takes 1 generation to make the wealth. Typically, the 2nd generation helps to grow the wealth. And guess what happens in the 3rd generation? The 3rd generation blows the wealth. So we're going to talk about that on Saturday. Y'all, that is the topic. Shirt sleeves and shirt sleeves in 3 generations. So keep that in mind. Do y'all studying. Let's have a great conversation on Saturday. And you all have a great weekend or great week, great rest of the week. Make it productive and profitable and be good to each other, y'all. So y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all soon. So long.